Identifying the sounds in words, holding up a finger for each sound. Now, this activity was demonstrated earlier. The holding up of a finger for each sound seems to help the children. Jug, j, a, g. However, it does not always have to be holding up a finger. It could be tapping the back of your hand. So, rabbit, r, a, b, it. Or you could do tapping your head. Slip, s, l, I, p. Now, some children find it difficult to hear the sounds of the consonant blend. So try and say it really slowly and drag it out. Slip. And then they tap their head. S, l, I, p. It just brings variety to doing the same thing. Word building with letters could be with plastic letters, like this, j, a, g, and using the focus letter sounds, or it could be with letter sound cards, which was demonstrated earlier. Dictation is the best way of developing the skill of writing. In this intervention lesson, the dictation could include a few letter sounds and words that use the focus letter sounds, such as a, j, and a couple of others, and then words that use those focus letter sounds. So dictate, call out, jet, pain, raid, job, snail. Keep it fairly snappy and fast-paced. If the whole class have been learning the tricky words, then start with the first two, I and the. Teach the same way as in steps 3 to 5, with flashcards and dictation. Also try and find ways to help the children memorize the spellings. If there is time, finish the lesson by encouraging the children to read a few sentences that use the tricky words that have been revised, the I and the, and also words that can be worked out. So here we have some sentences, and the children have to look at the tricky word I and then work out the others. I am hot. The dog is black. It is a bad stain on the dress. And then read it without blending. I am hot. The dog is black. It is a bad stain on the dress. Again, the word bank is useful for making up these sentences. And lastly, whiz through the letter sounds again. Here we are. J, A. Include the focus ones. G, and O, and so on. These intervention ideas are suggestions. Teachers and teaching assistants will have more ideas. For example, I once saw a teacher in Canada and she was doing auditory training, and she had told the children that she was going to say the sounds and tap her arm, and then when she strokes her arm, they've got to blend the word. So she would go g-oat, goat. I thought that was rather impressive, and after that I added it to my activities that I did with my class. It was still auditory blending, which was the basic teaching that was needed, but it brought a bit of variety into the teaching, which was something we all like. However, if all the children in an intervention group are able to hear words when the sounds have been spoken, then there is no point in using up precious teaching time on that activity. It is important to always keep the aim in mind, which is to catch up and keep up with the rest of the class with regards to learning the letter sounds, blending, segmenting, learning tricky words, and improving spelling.